Everybody, I'm so excited to be on here and sharing this with you. This is probably my favorite thing to share with people. Obviously, it's a story that means a lot to me, and it's my story. But I know infertility and struggling to get pregnant and pregnancy in general are they're subjects that are really close to a lot of ladies' hearts. Husbands too, I'm sure. I know when this is something you struggle with, it's not just the wife that goes through it. But I wanted to get on here and share these things. I'm going to keep it as short as possible. I do want you all to know up front, I am a Young Living distributor. This is something that Jared and I do as a business, which is how we came across these things that helped us. But I am sharing this simply to let you know that there are other options. If this is something that you want to know more about, then you are more than welcome to message me and I'll answer any questions. And I'd love to get you connected with the products that help me. But that is not my main focus this morning. But I did want you to know that up front because I don't want it to seem weird or sneaky or anything like that when I start talking about, okay, these are the oils I used. So let's just get all that out of the way right now. But there are multiple things that we did, and I'm just going to jump in right here so that when people watch the replay, there isn't like an awkward, waiting for people to get here or whatever moment, because those are weird. So one of the first things that we changed even before we really had the desire to get pregnant was our diet. We started following the Trim Healthy Mama principles of how we eat, which basically is cutting out sugars and artificial sweeteners and focusing on pairing your proteins with either fats or carbs. If you want to know more about them, they've got a Facebook page, they've got books, they've got a podcast. You can find them anywhere. Absolutely love their plan. Their meals are easy. If I'm going to cook anything, it's got to be easy. They taste good. We use a natural sweetener called stevia, so you're not like suffering by eating on that plan. We've done it for 4 years, and it'll be 4 years in June, and we're still on it. So perfectly sustainable, doesn't drive up your grocery budget. It's great. We totally love doing that program. And then I also started taking some supplements as we really started to pursue wanting to get pregnant. We struggled for just over a year, which I know some people are like, well, you didn't struggle with infertility. Okay, I'm not going to hash that out. Like, think what you will. That's fine. I don't throw the word around to get attention. According to doctors, any woman who takes over a year to get pregnant, who is in typical childbearing years, struggles with infertility. So that's what the doctors say. That's why I use that word. It's not an attention-getting thing. But anyhow, whatever you may think about that, when we talked to our OB, GYN, whatever, about the struggles that we seem to be facing, she said, you need to be taking a supplement that has folic acid. So I came back and did a bunch of research into Young Living's products trying to find a supplement with folic acid, and I couldn't find anything. And that immediately raised some red flags for me. I was like, okay, if this is something my body needs, why isn't it in a Young Living supplement? So I started asking some questions and doing some other research and found that folic acid is a synthetic man-made version of folate, which is natural. And when I found that out, then I found supplements that were full of folate from Young Living. So my favorite and the one I started taking is Super B. If I talk about supplements, it usually comes up. It's awesome. It's got all the B vitamins, so energy boosting. It's got that natural folate. It's got B3, which is good for your immune system. It's an amazing supplement. I love it. One tiny pill in the morning, you're good to go. So definitely been one of my favorites since that point in time. And I also take Ningxia Red daily, and Ningxia Red is our wolfberry whole body supplement juice. It supports every system of your body, but it does also help with your reproductive system. So I love it for my immune system. That's my main reason for taking it. But it's also good for just helping to regulate hormones and reproduction and all those things. So I take an ounce of that every day. I took it while I was pregnant. I took it while we were trying to get pregnant, and I still take it now. And then one of the big things we did was kick chemicals out of our home completely. Obviously, if we had the goal of getting pregnant, I didn't want dangerous toxic substances lying around that I had to worry about, my child getting into someday. which right now he's like getting to that point where he's going to be mobile really soon, and now I don't have to worry about him getting into cabinets and, poisoning himself with something. We use Young Living's Thieves Cleaner, which is totally plant-based and focused around our oil thieves. That is amazing for purifying surfaces, helping your immune system. It doesn't tear down your respiratory system like a lot of other cleaners and things on the market do. So we ditched all of our chemicals. Thieves Cleaner has replaced just about every, well, I shouldn't say just about, it has replaced every cleaner in our home. I don't use anything else. I can use it on my glass and on my kitchen and on my floors and all my surfaces. It's all I use. So we love that. It's perfectly safe. It's good for the pets. It's good for the baby. It's good for us. We don't have to worry about that. So we got all of those out of our home because a lot of things in those cleaners are going to tear down your reproductive system and mess with your hormones anyway. So that's totally counterintuitive if your goal is to get pregnant. Do some research on the things that are in them. Parabens, SLS, phthalates are in a lot of things. I honestly forget what's even in these things because they've been gone out of my house so long. Triclosan is in a lot of hand soaps and things. Supposedly makes them more antibacterial, but that has been proven to be incorrect. They've done studies on it and found that it really actually doesn't make any more of a difference. All it's doing is pumping another chemical into your body that you don't need. So just be wise to those things, but that is something that we did that made a difference. And then I did start using oils. I talked to a lot of girls in our oily family and said, hey, this is something we're struggling with. I know you've, been using these for a long time in your home. Is there somewhere that I can look to find something that might specifically help me? I was already using Young Living's blend Progestins Plus, which I absolutely love. It smells amazing, and it's a natural source of progesterone. And I had already been using that because I was having great issues with my hormones already that was causing problems with migraines, and that's a whole nother story, but I've been migraine free for 3 years, which has been incredible thanks to my chiropractor and also using these oils to help with that. So balancing my hormones did a lot of things for me. It helped with my migraines, and it also helped us to beat the infertility. And like I'm saying, it wasn't just the oils, it's all these things that we did, but this was not a difficult thing. Like the steps we did, anybody can replicate. So I used Progestins Plus. I had been using it, but then in this particular protocol that I started using, I did a drop of it on the back of my neck every morning, and I also used our oil Clary Sage, and I did 2 drops of that on my ankles every morning and evening. I also did a few drops of geranium on my lower abdomen and lower back in the morning and evening. A drop of our blend Acceptance on my wrist morning and evening. Most of these were a morning and evening thing. And then those were the oils that I topically applied. And then I also took 10 drops of our oil Sclerescence Vitality in a vegetable capsule every day, except for the days that I was on my cycle. So Young Living's oils in our Vitality line, they're in a white label. They are FDA approved for internal use, so they are safe to ingest. Many oils are what we call generally regarded as safe or GRAS, so they can be taken internally. I personally don't recommend taking any oils internally except for Young Living's because I know what our purity standard is. We don't use chemicals to distill them. We don't use pesticides on the plants. Basically, they're grown organically, just to put it in simple terms. We hand weed, we plant, we hand harvest a lot of the plants. So we know exactly what's happening with them. We do own our own farms or have partner farms that have met those standards so that we do partner with them. If you want to know more about all that and the science of it, you can go to seedtoseal.com and read all about it until your happy little heart is content. If you're someone who really likes all the statistics and science and that kind of thing. So yeah, I took 10 drops of the Sclerescence in that Vitality, or in that vegetable capsule every day. And I made those up ahead of time and kept them in the freezer. Oils will eat through, I forget what it's called, basically synthetic things, or like even the vegetable capsules, it does cause them to dissolve. They're supposed to. So if you keep them in the freezer, they won't eat through it as quickly. So I would make like 10 of them at a time and throw them in the freezer and just take one out. Pure oils will not freeze. So it wasn't like I was swallowing a wad of ice. It was actually still the actual oil. And I put some liquid coconut oil in there with it as well, to dilute it a little bit. And the other thing I did, and this may sound absolutely crazy, TMI maybe a little bit, so just brace yourselves. I got organic tampons. Okay, it's important to get organic if you're going to use the oils in correlation with a tampon, just because you don't want any chemicals or toxins that might be in typical tampons to leak into your system. Obviously, if we're trying to improve our chances of fertility, we don't want those things getting in and messing it up. And oils do cause you to absorb things more efficiently, which is like a great thing about them being our supplements, because you get more out of your supplements because they've paired those oils to help you absorb them to the best of your ability. So that's why I chose organic tampons for this particular protocol that I followed. But I used 5 drops of clary sage, basil, and frankincense on a tampon, and then coated it in coconut oil, because believe me, you don't want those oils to be strong. You want to dilute them so that when your skin starts to absorb them, it's not terribly uncomfortable. So I did 5 drops of each of those oil and at least 10 drops of coconut oil, but I basically just like made the tampon nice and soggy. That may sound terrible, but the first time I did it, I didn't use enough coconut oil and it was a little uncomfortable. But I did that for 10 days after my cycle. And I just left it in overnight, and then I would take it out in the morning. So those were the things that we did. I did it once, you guys, and this may not be everybody's story, but I did it once. And before my next cycle came around, it was late, and I was like, well, this is weird. I've never been consistent in that, so it didn't at first like raise red flags to me. I shouldn't say red flags, suspicions. But then I finally went and got a pregnancy test, and it was positive, and I was completely shocked. I did not expect it to work that quickly. And obviously a lot of this was the Lord. If the Lord is not, if it's not his timing, then it's not going to happen. And we really prayed about, is this something we need to do? Are we trying to take this into our own hands, too much? We didn't want to overstep the Lord's sovereignty in anything like that. But we really felt at peace about pursuing that avenue, and within a month, we were finding out that we were pregnant. So, like I said in my post before I did this live, I'm not guaranteeing that this is going to work for everybody. I'm not going to guarantee that if it does work for you, it's going to work as quickly as it did for me. Everybody's different. God's created everybody's bodies differently. Obviously, it's the same function that creates a baby. But, everybody is an individual, and that's the beauty of how God created us all. But these oils do work. I love them. We use them as a lifestyle, and this is just one of the amazing things that we've seen it do for us. And it's something that I love to get to share with other people, because I know I'm not the only one who has walked through that. And it's not easy, and my heart goes out to anyone who's struggling to get pregnant or has lost a baby. I know that's not my story, but I know a lot of girls who have. And the Lord can work, and the Lord brings people across our paths. And if this is something that the Lord, it might be, tugging on your heart to learn more about, please send me a message. I'd absolutely love to talk to you. I'm an open book. I have no problem sharing personal details. If you have questions about that doesn't bother me at all. But if you want to know something, please contact me. Like I said in my post, I'm not going to just like cold message people. I can see who's watching. But I am not, going to be like, hey, I saw you on my video today. Let me bother you about this. That's not my place. I'm not going to do that. But I just want to let you know there are different ways to start with Young Living if this is something you want to get into. So we have our basic oil starter kit, which comes with 12 oils and a diffuser, and then some awesome samples of different things from our other lines, including 2 packets of the Ningxia Red that I take every day. That's $165, so you get a lifetime membership with Young Living plus those oils. That's how we started. Before we were ever pursuing trying to get pregnant, I was trying to get over all my migraine issues. So we got that kit and jumped in there, and now actually comes with more oils than it did when we got it, and a few more samples, which is awesome. And you can also start with a Ningxia Red kit, so you get 2 big 26-ounce bottles, and then 32 of the 2-ounce packets. and also a box of our Energy Shot Ningxia Nitro. So that's $170, and again, same lifetime access to Young Living, membership pricing, all those good things. And there's also a Thieves starter kit. So it's basically like the super easy way to ditch all chemicals and toxin out of your home. You get some personal care products, you get the cleaning products, you get some hand soap, hand sanitizer, amazing, amazing things. All things we use in our house every day. That's $160. Had to think about it. And then if those are not the way you want to go and you want to personalize something, you can. We have what we call a basic starter kit, which is $35. Comes with 40 something dollars worth of products, so you're getting those cheap, plus the lifetime membership again. And then that comes with 2 packets of Ningxia Red, a thing of our Thieves hand sanitizer, which I absolutely love, a thing of Thieves mints, and a bottle of Stress Away, which, like, who can't use Stress Away, especially right now, right? So then you can customize and add whatever oils you may like to that. So if you wanted to get some of these oils specifically for this protocol that I used, you can add those to it. So there's lots of different options to do that. But I hope this was encouraging to you guys. Like I said, if you want to know more, let me know. I'd absolutely love to talk to you about anything. So I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I hope you're enjoying time with family. I know being stuck inside is a little frustrating some days. I've reached that point. But I hope you guys are still enjoying the time that we all get together with our families. And I hope that you are healthy and well. Have a great weekend, and thanks for tuning in.